Oh, sure.
Glad you
Hell
did this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, they say the first time it's always the best. It's a huge honor. Love the project. There's a lot to talk about, but for people that don't recognize your beautiful face or your beautiful voice, who the hell are you?
Who the hell am I? I'm John. I play bass in Bad Nerves.
Yeah, and I'm Bobby, and I sing in Bad Nerves or scream sometimes.
Guys, welcome to Prescription Punk Rock. It's a huge honor. I repeat myself. Maybe there's people unaware of that project in Quebec City. For people that don't know the band, how that crazy idea started up, how you met.
Mm. How did we meet? Yeah, so well, I mean, we'd all kind of known each other in the local scene for years, really, in and out of different bands, and but it wasn't until I guess, me and Will started this project and started writing some songs. We sent them to John and dragged him into this, and then yeah, then we sort of played for a year with some different lineups, and then we got the other two guys, Sam and Georgian, and yeah, that's a very brief
It was a
paragraph.
pretty good summary, though, to be fair. I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, I mean, we only just got out of bed, so I don't know if I can do it longer. Yeah,
A
so that's
couple of beers, a couple of shows later, we're there, man.
yeah, we never thought we'd be in America right
No,
now.
it's still blowing our minds, man. It's unreal being here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so cool. It's so cool. You deserve it. I mean, one thing that I love is the cultural thing behind your country is incredible. I mean, like it felt like every like two hours there's a fucking music genius.
Well,
Well,
yeah, I mean, kind of.
mm,
I don't know if genius is.
yeah, bit of a strong word,
Yeah.
but we don't think of ourselves as geniuses.
No, no.
We're just ripping off the people that we think are geniuses.
Yeah, yeah. We wear our influences firmly on our sleeves, I think,
Yeah.
in that department.
Yeah, there's been a lot of bands come out of England, well, and America, though. You know, like
Yeah.
rock and roll punk bands that we really love and aspire to be like. Well, not be like, but we look up to, and most of them are dead, unfortunately. So we will never have the opportunity to meet our idols, which is probably a good thing.
It's probably
really.
a good thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We're just trying to write good music and play good shows and meet cool people and have a good time.
Mm.
But that's the thing, when I say genius, it's the originality that came from England. For
Mm.
us in Canada, and I'm sure the US would agree, it's always a step ahead of us, the sound and everything. Like, there's so many bands that, we got them like 2 or 3 years later, and then
Yeah, but you
like a
had some good
lot.
ones,
Yeah,
though.
and
You
then
had some good ones like
Vile Tones.
Tones, Teenage Head. Like
Yeah.
Teenage Head are one of my favorite bands ever.
Yeah.
And the Canadian sound was awesome.
Yeah.
So I think every country has its own
Yeah, for
take on
sure.
punk, and
I feel like
that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I feel like in like obviously in the UK with the Clash and Sex Pistols and stuff like that, those ones are the ones that have been put up
Yeah,
the top as
yeah.
if, and they are obviously awesome, but they're not the only ones.
There's so many more like
Mm.
real bands and from different countries that never got the look in.
Yeah.
Like they got overshadowed by it. Even in England. A lot of the bands from the north didn't get a look in compared to the bands from the south.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's there's a lot of good stuff that kind of flew under the radar.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crap. We played our first shows in Canada. Not yesterday, the day before we played Montreal, and the day before that we played Toronto, and kind of like we just said, there's a bunch of bands that we really love from Canada, and to get to come and play over there was really, really cool for us.
Yeah, the audiences are awesome over here as well, man. Like it's a very different vibe. Like England is cool, but it seems like people don't want to show their appreciation as much to whereas over here people are very open and they want to come and talk to you, and we're all about that. We're all about meeting people and making a connection, so that's it's really really refreshing.
We wouldn't be here without the people that are listening to this music.
Exactly.
So
like there's no ego here. We just want to meet like-minded people. That's why I got into punk. Because it brings people together. It's like a common love for something, and that's really what we want to do.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be doing this at all, to be honest. So
yeah, exactly.
Wow, you nail it. I mean, like, I think we're all here to connect with each others and learn through, each other because we're so different. And yeah, you're right. And Yeah, Canada is we're party people, and we are so happy when band came to see us, because we know now it's fucking tough. It's not like
It's a long
back in the
way.
days.
Oh,
The
yeah.
label
Oh,
throw cash at you, and then five
yeah.
Oh, we'll
records
have a bit
later
more
you
of
screw.
that.
No, but I mean, like, it's tough because, gas costs a lot. It's long
Yeah,
ride
yeah.
traveling to Canada. It's not like
I
you
mean,
guys in
for a
Europe.
lot of small bands in the UK, especially, like you just can't afford to do it. You know, like we're lucky enough to have people support us to let us do this. But this is, we never thought it would happen for us. So for bands that are smaller coming up, it seems almost impossible.
If it weren't for our record label providing us with some tour funds to be able to come here, it would never happen. I mean, this is costing. Well, I say us and our label. We're not making any money from this. It's being money put in. It's an investment in hopefully the future. But that's the thing. We never thought we would have any sort of. We've never had funding of any kind. We personally don't make any fucking money at all.
No.
But like we're very lucky and grateful to have this label called Lowly, who have come along and helped us to fund being able to actually come here and do it, because without
literally allowed us to live our dreams.
Without visas cost more money than I've ever had. It's crazy how. So I always just assumed for years. I assumed that we probably won't get to play the US just because we're not big enough. But actually, I think it is just finances. Like it just costs so much money. I see some
to do it all properly.
I see some bands doing it, and bands we know and stuff, and I think how are they affording to do that? Like hopefully some rich parents tucked behind the scenes somewhere.
Yeah.
If you've got the money to do it, that's awesome. But we never did have until we had a label come and help us to do it.
So I think we're appreciating every moment of being here. Because a lot of people would dream of doing it. So it's an honor and a privilege.
Yeah, it's really great. We're trying to just lap up every moment of it, really, just in case it never happens again.
Yeah.
But I have so much hope for music in the next years. I'm 41, and for the last almost 15 years, people are like, oh, there's not a new generation of punk rockers. And I disagree, because there were
like that
bands.
for a while. It
But
did feel like that.
I think the impact that the pandemic have on people creating music is, we see it now. There's a huge wave. When I see the chat from Australia, fucking rip
Australia's
everything.
got a lot going on at the moment. There's something in the water, isn't there, over there? Other than sharks, there's something else in the water.
Yeah, I think so. Amy and the glue sniffer. I mean, there's so much, band in their 20s that are ripping everything. So the wave is there, and it's just a matter of time. And it's so cool, and it's refreshing. That's what I needed. I like the old band, of course, but at some point, I think that's what we need right now. A kind of shift in the main,
You listen to the same bands over and over. Like, some of our favorite bands. I've listened to like the Clash and stuff like that to death, and I still love them. But like, it's like you do get to the point where you're like, oh, I want to hear something new that excites me in that same way, And it does seem to be or in the last few years, it always seemed like kind of a rare thing. But yeah, there's definitely a bit of a wave of kind of rock and roll punk shit happening, which I think people were fed up. After that whole COVID thing and all this lockdown shit, like, people were angry, man. Like, it was just, and that helps. I think that's helping to push that new wave of like bands coming along, because there is something to really be fucking angry about.
Punk kind of comes out of struggle, and because of the pandemic, a lot of venues shut down. You weren't allowed to go and play. You had to play music with people, so I think it was like the perfect kind of melting pot for things to come out of. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, I just can't imagine
the local scene, because a lot of the venues have shut for good because of it. So
I think that's what the fucking plan was. I think that's all they want. They want everything to shut down. They don't want us to be able to there to be any culture and all this shit. They want to just,
like, London is so different now. There's hardly any venues left to play.
Oh shit! Yeah,
fucking skyscrapers and. Like they've moved all the original Londoners out, and they've just put businesses and Starbucks there. Well, shut up, I've got Starbucks here, but do you know what I mean? Like, big corporations at every corner, and it's lost its character. So it's nice to come out here and play to people that just appreciate it. And we've been to some really cool venues on this tour, like some of the most historic venues I could hope to go to.
Eagles Club. or the
Yeah,
rave,
the
right?
rave, yeah, in Milwaukee, was
Yeah,
it?
Milwaukee, yeah.
Yeah, like that was like a real mind blower,
It's
man.
a
Like,
crazy venue.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you're pretty lucky to have some good places
Well,
there.
it's so
Yeah.
big in America, like because England's so small, there's only a sort of certain amount of venues. You sort of think like, and they're trying to shut all of them down pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
that's all eating grey sludge, changed to a computer for the rest of our fucking lives. That's what they want. They're not going to get us.
Yeah.
Grey sludge.
It does taste all right after a while, doesn't it?
But it kind of happened too. Like Montreal lost a club called Catacomb, which was amazing. It looked
Cool
like
name already.
yeah, it looked like a vault with skulls and everything
Even
everywhere. It
better.
was amazing.
Don't
But
tell me it's shut down.
yeah, it's the fucking city, and they're gonna build like condo, and I'm so fucking tired of that.
That
Like
sucks.
it's
That sucks.
but yeah,
It's
I
done
think
right.
there's yeah, like there's people that want more buildings, so they shut down those places. It's sad, but still, like punk rock is still strong here, so there's still venues and everything. And Montreal is a really punk rock city, as
Montreal
you
was
saw.
awesome, man. I wish we could have stayed a bit longer because it had a real vibe when we were there. Like, and everyone was super cool, super friendly. You know,
It was cool. That was a
yeah.
cool venue, that wasn't it? What was it called again? The one in Montreal? Can you remember?
Was it Les Fouf?
Oh, it was M Tellus. That's it. Yeah.
Tellus.
Oh
Well,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool place.
Tellus. That's what I was saying. Idiot.
And that's another cool thing that you mentioned, like you connect with the fans and everything. I you know, it's a choice, but I don't get banned like that. Don't, you know, go see the fans and everything. I mean,
It's
at
weird,
some
man.
point
Like,
you're getting big, but like
Yeah.
I mean, like if people were putting me in that situation, I would take the time or just a minute and a photos.
Yeah.
It constantly blows our mind that people even want to talk to us. So if we were to not talk to them, what sort of people would we be? Like it's as I said, like the stage is only a bit of wood that you stand on. Otherwise, we are identical. You know, there's no difference.
I think, we always kind of thought if we ever got to a point where there were people waiting to meet us, you know, in a gig or whatever, like the thought of doing anything less than making sure we saw everyone that wanted to meet us is just not an option, really. We want to meet the people who are helping us build this project, you know. Like it's all like one big sort of
there's nothing more cringe than seeing, like, you know, people with this rock star attitude. It's just it sucks. It cringes us out too much to ever do it ourselves, you know. So
because it is kind of just a load of bollocks, isn't it?
You know
what I mean? You're just playing music, like, and people connect with it, and that is special. But you're not
thousands of bands that exist. You know what I mean?
This is the weird thing with like this whole the rock stardom thing. It's like, you know, this sort of worshipping of false idols, almost, isn't it? Like putting people up with like they're like deities just because they've written.
And then they start to believe it. They start to believe it.
It is you know. Fast forward a few years, we'll be like, we ain't doing interviews.
Yeah, sitting there, massive sunglasses on.
Hey, wait.
The sunglasses is already on.
Be like Elton John,
I want to go Elton John if I can.
But yeah, that's what I love about the Pistol. They were there to destroy rock and roll. That thing that we create that made monsters. Because at the end, like, what put you there? Of course, it's the people, but why people are there? It's because it's the music, and what important in the process is the song, it's the music, and that's why you all here. And it's always 4, 5, 3 individual involved creating those songs, you know. So at the end, like if you play the ego thing, you forget about the music, and it will get you because music is a living thing, man.
Yeah, it just proves you're in it for all the wrong reasons. If you got no time for people, like people are the music. So
it's just, and it's the wrong motivation is to try and write music because you want to be like worshipped, like you're some sort of something special. So it's just it's weird. I mean, the reason we ever made music is just
become
because
a
it was
cop
fun.
if you want to do that.
But yeah, no, we love meeting, you know, people who, you know, fans of the band and stuff like that. It's and even last night we met some amazing people who were so passionate about.
Oh, that was wild.
About the
that
record,
was wild.
You know, and it's like it's overwhelming.
They
in a
flew
way.
to see us, which is like a you can't believe it.
We're getting that a bit now. People flying over. We had some people from Mexico. They flew to Toronto from Mexico. And they, you know, just to see that passion, because the passion they have for the songs is the same passion we had for the and still have for the songs when we made them. So it's like you're instantly bonded because you feel something over the same, you know, over the music. And it's really special. You know, if anything, I wish we had more time to spend with those people. You know, it's always too brief, really. You know, because it's like you got security guards trying to chuck you out. But yeah, it's a magical thing. We just want to enjoy it whilst we can, you know, and hopefully keep writing music that people connect with.
It's gonna be the part 2 when you come back. You're gonna get more time. You have to come see me in Quebec City. But you deserve it. I mean, like the originality of the project, the energy that you inject into the songs. It's just like we and I know you're a live band. The experience is there, you know. Not saying like the record is fucking amazing, but I know it's a step, you know, ahead when you see when we catch you live, and that's the thing, you know. And people are in need, like I said, for new music, and that's where we are, and it's gonna be amazing. The next year is gonna be crazy, and yeah, we have to see something positive about the pandemic, and that's it. You know, people realize the importance of culture, got more time on their end. People now work from their own, listening way more music. So, you know, if you play well your card, everything is in place for another explosion.
Yeah, definitely. I think the pandemic definitely, as shit as it was, it woke a lot of us up thinking, you know, like, I mean, just even just going to work 5 days a week somewhere was just like, fuck, you know what? I don't have to do this. I can a lot of people manage to work out ways of working without doing that. And it was like, well, why the fuck would I go back to doing it the other way?
And it made you appreciate everything. I mean, I remember that the gig we played before it all happened, and it was like kind of like we were going through the motions. We've been touring so much that I didn't realize, but I wasn't appreciating it at the time. And then when it was taken away, I just felt like such an idiot for not you know, using up every second of that experience because I thought maybe we'll never get that again. So now it's like we appreciate every moment of being here, every second of being on stage, and you'd be crazy not to, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it broke the circle, and I get it, you know, because every band is Spinal Tap at some point in their life. Like you all go, everybody has a face.
I've heard.
I imply you go to
we turn our amps up to 11 every night.
I always feel Spinal Tap when I'm walking around the venue with sunglasses on. Everyone's looking at me like, "What is this guy doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, Spinal Tap."
Yeah,
Spinal Tap, baby.
We've got lost backstage a million times.
Yeah, the amount of things I trip over so many things because I'm wearing sunglasses in the dark.
But that's
we're just gonna get Stonehenge for the next show.
But and again, and that's the thing, you know, not take yourself too seriously, but take the music seriously. It's always a balance that it's hard to find. I'm curious, guys. Let's get back to when you were kids. How did you start discovering music, both of you? And when was the time that you said, okay, I can't play music, or I'm gonna try playing music?
Me or you?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess my mum was a music teacher, it just like high school music teacher. So I was always sort of encouraged to play instruments and stuff. If I wanted to learn an instrument, I would, you know, be encouraged to do so. So I played clarinet actually when I was like really young, when I was like 10. And then when I started when I was like primary school, and then I started high school and I was like, this is not cool at all. I don't want to do clarinet. And
you and Lizzo,
the thing is, I wish I'd never stopped because I'd be like a virtuoso if I'd stayed there. I carried on. But when I started high school, I started playing drums, and I'd always been kind of singing since I was really young because my mum would always like play me like musicals on TV, you know, like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and stuff like that.
That's why you're so annoying.
Yeah. And so that was like how I first became, I guess, say musical, if you like. But then when I got into sort of high school, like my dad would play like Bowie on the way to school and stuff like that, and then it's actually Nirvana that really got me. That it's a bit cliche, but Nirvana was one of the big bands that got me into playing drums. And from there, it just went into, you know, and then I got into the Ramones and like all sorts of stuff, and the Clash later on, and and that's sort of progressed into that really. But I had a bit of a metal phase as well, where I really love metal. I still like metal now, actually. I just don't want to play it because it's so fucking hard. So I mean that's a sort of rough. That's kind of how I became who I am today.
I think I was like 13 years old, and I was walking through a CD shop, and I saw Never Mind the Bollocks by the Sex Pistols, and I didn't know much about it, but I just saw the cover. I think I was with my dad, and I was like, "Can I have this?" And he bought me the CD, and I went home, and I was just like obsessed with it. Like I was like, "This is like the coolest thing ever." I didn't know why. I had no idea why, but then I was like, "Right, what can I do to be in a band? What's the easiest role?" And someone said, "Oh, the bass is easiest because it's only 4 strings." And I thought, well, if I get that and I can jump around a bit and look cool, like then I'll do that. I didn't know how to play bass for years. I was in different bands. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a tuner for like the first 3-4 years of playing in actual gigs. The guitarist in my band would come over and just like tune my guitar. I'd be like, okay, cool. I've no idea. I had no idea. Like I still don't really have much of an idea. Like if someone asked me to talk about my equipment, I would have.
Yeah,
I'd probably run away. I'd have no idea what.
None of
to
us
say.
really know. I mean, George knows a bit about guitars, doesn't he? Like, but I mean, Will's similar. We're all Sam knows a fair bit because he's running a music shop and stuff. But we generally we're not. We don't really know what the fuck we're doing.
I'm like the opposite of music.
Yeah,
like, I've got no idea.
It's like when we Justin Hawkins, bless him, who's a legend by the way. He did a little breakdown of one of our songs a few months ago, and it was really funny, like watching him talk about the chord progressions in one of our songs, and we didn't even know what the chord progressions were. And so we were just watching it, and he was like, "Yeah, so this is a C major, and then they've moved it to here, and then this is a," and we were just like, we didn't even know that, like because we just do everything's by ear and by feel, you know. And I think, I mean, it would be great to know more about like.
I'm not that bothered.
Oh, I'd like to, but I feel like I've gone past it now. It's like in the time it would take me to try and really understand music, I could have just written a song without understanding it, you know. Like, but it's you know, if you know both, I think that'd definitely be handy. But yeah, we run on bloody just what's the word I'm looking for? Feeling. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And amen. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you have to be that good playing your instrument if you have a statement to say. But if you have something to say and the desire, the energy, and the passion, those 4 things make you go. And like most of the band, that's what they did. Pistol are a good example. Rodden didn't know how to sing. Sid didn't know how to play bass, was one. And there was Glenn Matlock that was kind of the guy that
he was actually an amazing bass player.
Yeah.
He's really good.
In my point of view, they should like not give rid of them, but you know, history would not be the same if Glenn stick in the band.
Gotta love Sid as well.
Yeah.
Like,
so one of the punk albums ever, and most of them didn't have a clue how to even play.
I'm pretty sure Steve Jones recorded everything on that. He's got his copy everywhere, so he's see, just not smooth at all, is it?
No, and you're right. And I mean, I met Glenn like 2 times in my life, and he's an amazing human being. And it's cool to see the other side of the pistol, and you know.
I think Glenn Matlock was in one of the original kind of UK power pop bands, wasn't he? The Rich Kids. I think that was, and our drummer's dad was in a band called Tonight, who were the other original UK power pop bands. So it's kind of like a little bit of history there for you.
Yeah.
If you check out a band called Tonight and the song Drummer Man, that's our drummer's dad's old band. It was on like Top of the Pops in the 70s, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow. And weirdly, we got a song called Baby Drummer, and there was no relation to it or anything like that. We didn't even know at the time that his dad's. I know it's weird, isn't it?
That's another proof that music is magic. That's amazing.
The power of the universe.
Yeah, like it blew my mind when I knew that. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They wrote the songs for that, but that's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, you know, you're in the US now. How's the rest of the year for you guys after the tour?
Busy.
Well, we don't stop. We literally get back from here. We have like 6. Well, we've got a gig the day we get back, or the day after we get back, and then we're back out to Europe for our own headline tour, and then we get back for a few weeks, and then we're back out on the road with The Darkness for a month.
Yeah, and
then we're gonna celebrate Jesus's whatever at Christmas. And then, and then we've got a bunch of other stuff after that. We got tours and tours and tours, and then in between that we got to finish the record
somehow.
So
We
yeah,
don't really, this is from starting this tour. Well, we did the tour with the Struts just before this as well. Pretty much from the beginning of that Struts tour to, I think, the end of May, we are doing a lot. The most of stuff. We're not doing nothing at any point. We're either
yeah,
playing, we're either touring, or we're recording, and it's. I mean, it's exhausting, but it's amazing.
yeah,
It's fucking great, man.
Can't moan about it though. Do you know what I mean? It's better than
I've never
anything
been so
else.
tired in my life, but I'm so pleased to be
Yeah,
tired.
That's why Starbucks is there,
ecstatically
man.
tired.
Yeah, just enthusiastically tired. No, it's really, really cool. I think to be honest, I'm hoping that this next 6 months will be the sort of catalyst for basically the rest of the, sort of immediate future to be much the same. We just want to play and life is brief, I just want to get out there and just do shit until, before we're too
Until the
old.
wheels fall off.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Before your joints stop working. My knees already feel a bit weak.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
hips are hurting.
Yeah, my back's aching a bit.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? We'll look back on this because like 30, 40 years time, we'll watch these interviews back and be like, God, we were so youthful.
Yeah.
And they're just in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Can't, like,
We're like the
move.
two old geezers from the Muppets.
Yeah, yeah. We've been haunting the rave in Milwaukee, just sitting up in the box.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Life is a fucking vortex, you know?
Yeah,
Like
right.
you get it. Like when I turned like 40, I was like, damn, man, I remember like being
Everything
20s. It was
hurts.
yesterday. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Weird.
When you look at some point in your life, you realize it's it
Yeah.
passed fast. So it's cool. And that's the thing. I think we have such a short amount of time. And it's crazy that people restrain themselves of creating or living their passions.
It's not their fault though, is it? Because
Yeah.
it's like it's hammered into us. Like, when you're a kid, you're taught to follow your dreams, but then from about 20 onwards, they stop saying that to you. They stop encouraging you. They start putting you down for following your dreams.
They say you're
It's
immature for following your dreams.
yeah, like you're too old for this, you're too old for that, which is a complete load of bullshit. You're never too old. You got to do
never
the
too old
thing
for
you
anything.
love. Yeah, you got to do what you love. You have to, because if you don't, you just life will suck and it will go so quick. When you're doing something like it just disappears. Like you gotta just do what you want to do.
100%.
No, yeah, I know. I mean, that's pretty difficult. Some people have got really difficult circumstances, but you have to find a way, because the alternative is, grey sludge chained to a computer. It's just shit.
Yeah.
So true, man. So true. And like I mean, like it's just sometimes it's just try, man. Like just try and think after that, man. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
like 10 years later you're still there. And it's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Well,
We
that's
just
exactly what's happened to us with this band.
Yeah.
It's just like, what do we like to do? Let's do this. Like, oh, these people are telling us we shouldn't. Ignore them.
Yeah, like we had years of people saying that we should pack it in. Like literally years of people saying, what are you doing? Like no one's gonna get into this. Like it's kind of punk music. You're trying to, play like. But if we'd listened to them, we wouldn't be sitting here now in America.
Yeah.
So
sorry, John. I was saying, the other thing is, like we've all done so many different projects that never went anywhere, and it's so easy to be discouraged, by that. Like whatever sort of industry you're in, whether you're building guitars or whatever, I don't know, whatever you're doing, like you'll have so many failures, like, but. And it's so easy to sort of be put off and sort of be like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. It's like, it doesn't matter there's no such thing as good enough. You do it because you enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you just keep doing something because you enjoy it, you get better. And then before you know it, something will blossom, something will happen. And that's what's happened with this band. I remember before we started this band, I was sitting in my little room with my computer and my guitars thinking like, oh, maybe, having those thoughts, maybe this isn't for me, maybe because I was starting to think about the fact that I wasn't successful. But then once I got that out of my mind, I was like, you know what? No, I don't know what else to do. I enjoy doing this. And then me and Will were like, let's start another band. And we was thinking like, should we start another band? Like,
not again.
Yeah, not again. We've just done a band. Been doing bands like 14 years. And there's that whole thing. We're like, you know what? I don't know what else to do. And like, there's all these rules and guidelines that people have always been telling me my whole life. By this age or whatever, you have to have this amount of shit. You have to have a house and do all this crap. And it's like, well, I don't have any of that. The only thing I have that I know is true is my enjoyment that I get from doing music. So I've just kept doing that. And as John said, now we're here in America. And it's like, and I feel like, I was right to tell those people to fuck off, because if you just keep doing the thing you enjoy, good things happen. And
the only true freedom you'll ever feel is doing the things you enjoy.
It is. And it's like, it's liberating, like, because we all have normal life stresses going on behind the scenes, you know. But because we are pursuing something that we are really passionate about, it makes the stress and anxiety of normal life less, you know, because you're
Amen,
like,
brother.
because you just think, well, okay, this is a bit shit, but I'm doing this and this is exciting, and that makes you feel good, you
Yeah.
know. And I know a
Yeah,
lot of
because
people, yeah,
you're defining yourself with your passion
yeah,
instead of defining yourself through work or being parents.
yeah,
That's a, you know, it's, and I get people that love their job, but I mean, like, you're better defining yourself with what you love and what,
Mm.
you know, makes you like lose touch with times, you know. I'm
that's
sure
it,
when you
yeah.
write music at some point, like, what day we are,
Oh,
and it's been
exactly.
2 days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the beauty. It puts you in a when you're doing something you're really passionate about, you go into a trance, you know, like and you're creating creativity is like this weird vortex. It's like a magic portal into like this into peace, basically. You know, you just peace of mind. Because when you come out of it, that's when you have to start worrying about bills and all this other bullshit, you know. But then when you're there in that moment, just present, I mean, that's what it's all about, and it's being present. Because when you're just present in the moment that exists
yeah,
now, it's the only moment that it's the only thing that does exist really is the present moment. When you're in there, that's when you're most alive, you know.
yeah.
And it's like it's
100%. That's what you feel on stage. You know, you go
yeah,
into a kind of flow state where
mm,
you have no other worry at
yeah,
all other
yeah,
than what you're doing at that moment, and
yeah,
that is like
yeah, yeah,
real freedom.
yeah.
That's it.
Anxiety and depression, you don't need a pill for that, you know, when you've got
Exactly.
that magic sort of yeah, those moments.
Yeah, yeah. I think that people that are really addicted, like they restrain themselves of creating,
Mm,
and a lot of people that get off of drugs and booze, and after that are like, oh, I paint or whatever, and I'm gardening, or you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and you felt right because you know you used to restrain yourself because you were listening to those people saying,
yeah,
no, man, punk rock, it's not a way of living your goddamn life. Punk rock was cool in 77.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
fuck
No,
you.
it's a total
Mm,
way of life.
yeah,
It's an attitude, and it
mm,
carries through in everything you do from the moment you get into it. You know,
yeah,
it has done since I was 13. You know, like it doesn't mean to say I'm going around and spray painting walls with anarchy signs and all this sort of stuff, but it's like
yeah,
it taught me how to treat people
mm,
and how to, you know, interact with people on a human level, and not have some inflated ego. And
mm,
you know, that's what I
yeah,
took from it personally. You know,
mm,
it's not so much a fashion thing, although I do
mm,
like that.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
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 man.
it's just it's taught me
Mm,
the most valuable life lessons. I've
mm,
learned more from Joe Strummer than I did from my teachers at school. Let's put it like that.
yeah, definitely.
So true, so true. And you're right, like it can teach you a lot. Like when I used to read like Bad Religion lyrics, I was like, man, there's a really smart guy into that scene.
He is a teacher though, isn't he? He's from
Yeah,
yeah. He's on it, that guy. Like,
he's
smart.
crazy, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm reading his book right now. It's crazy. But yeah, there's like Joe Strummer is a good example, like the Clash bring, and they make people realize, okay, it's punk rock, but man, like without reggae, without
mm,
you know, jazz, without there would be no, it's all about vibration. And at the
yeah,
end, you know, it's what
yeah.
you're saying.
When the Clash
And
broke down a lot of barriers in regards to like racial stuff that was going on. You know, they were a bunch of white guys that loved reggae and covered, you know, Police
Yeah,
and Thieves on their first album. And you know, like that's quite a bold thing to do. I mean, that
yeah,
is what Junior
back
Mervyn,
then,
Police and
yeah,
Thieves, is one of the best reggae songs ever. You know,
yeah,
and I think Joe Strummer even said it in an interview. It's like the audacity we had to cover
yeah,
this song, but like thank God they did, you know, because
mm,
it brought everything together, you know, at
yeah,
a time when it was needed. So
yeah.
guys, thank you so much for your time. It was
huh,
a
it was a pleasure.
fucking rad interview. I mean, I could go on forever with you, but
Oh yeah,
there's gonna be a
we
part
love it.
two because you're
Yeah,
gonna come
anytime,
back, man. I'm gonna be
Come
there.
anytime.
back, come back to Canada. Well, we're in
Yeah,
America right now, but
yeah,
let's just pretend we're in Canada.
yeah. We need to do more than 2 shows in Canada. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
well,
heard Canada's quite big, so I don't know if we've really covered enough of
it
it.
is big.
Two shows.
You haven't experienced the cold air of Canada either. I
Nah,
came here. I came to Toronto in the winter. I can't remember when it was, but it was cold. I've never felt a chill in the air
what
like
a
that.
win! What a win, babe. I bet you guys are well used to it, and yeah, you
Quebec,
know.
Quebec is way worse, man. We got minus 40 sometimes.
It's like you walk out
You
and you're
know
like,
what? Actually, maybe
Your
won't.
nose, when you like your nose like glued together, like ting. Yeah.
Nose is glued together anyway. I can't,
Yeah,
I've been
even on
free
the
for
beach.
years.
Winter's coming.
You go Tenerife, his nose will be stuck together.
Yeah, man.
But guys, you're amazing. Of course, we invite people to directly encourage you. If people have money for music, what's the best way to buy merch from you? Is there a website, Bandcamp, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, we do you know we don't have a Bandcamp. It's one thing. I don't know why we don't. We're gonna set one up, I think, but we at the moment we've just got a website which is badnerds.co.uk, and there's a link on there to merch. And you know, anybody that we're so grateful to people who support us with merch and you know and records and stuff. It's that really is the lifeblood of.
If you can't afford it, just listen to it on any way you can. You know, like it's all good.
Shit's not cheap these days.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, we appreciate the support. You know, massively. It's
music's for everyone. So just
you see the connection. You stole my line. I always said that after. If you don't have money, go listen to it. It's free everywhere.
Exactly.
Great minds.
Yeah.
Great minds.
I mean, honestly, if we could give give it all away for free, like we would.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like if the society was different and like everybody had like a place to live and had food and everything was like we just give it away. I don't care. We don't want to be rich. We just want to survive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't.
We just
give
want
a
enough
shit
money
about
to keep us on the road, to keep doing it.
I've already been talking to the label about what we can do for like, you know, charity wise, if the band takes off and we start making money. Well, I want to go to like underprivileged places and like give instruments to schools and like try to encourage like kids to do stuff. Like we do not give a shit about being rich motherfuckers. We just want to get to a point where we can survive, and then the rest we don't give a shit. We just want to help. I want to help other people, like get like young kids into music who didn't have the same opportunities that we had. You know, like I was very fortunate that my parents, you know, encouraged me to play drums. But imagine that, the loudest, most annoying instrument. You know, I want to give those kids, the next generations, a chance.
It's horrible to think that just because you don't have the money, you can't experience what we. You know, I mean, it's a horrible thought.
It is a horrible thought. You get all these people who are fucking minted, and you think you don't.
And they ain't into punk, are they?
No, you don't need all that money, man. How can you have all that money and go to bed at night when people got?
I know.
Nothing?
Buy another 10 Ferraris or whatever. I don't know.
But that's something we want to look into as the band grows. Once we start to do more than break even.
You'll see us in limousines next.
On jets with Leo DiCaprio. It's like, I used to say I wanted to help people, but now I'm rich. I don't give a shit. Like, oh.
We all trick you guys. We don't give a shit. But that's cool. That proved that you have art. Guys, we're going to wait for you, of course, for a comeback to Quebec. Thank you for your fucking time. Thank you for your generosity. You're amazing. You deserve what's happening right now. And man, sky is the fucking limit.
Yes, it is. Well,
we'll be in space next.
Space. We're going to save up. We're going to build a rocket. We're going to go into space. A penis-shaped rocket.
First band to play in space. Guys, you're amazing. Thank you so much. And have a kick-ass rest of the tour. And thank you, guys.
See you later on. Good to meet you, man.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Laters.
Prescription is what you need. No more inhibition. Set yourself free. Just let go. That's my only plea. A punk rock prescription is